What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now, I'm going to rank I'm going to rank the seasons of Yellowstone from worst to best. So there's been 4.5 seasons. I'm going to rank season 5 as a whole right now, or I guess season 5 part 1 as a whole. But I just jumped onto this bandwagon. 2 weeks ago I'd never seen a single episode of the show. And now here we are. I've seen all 5.5 seasons. I just binged it. I binged it hardcore. I loved it. And I think all 5 seasons are very strong seasons of television. But there are some that are better than the others. So let's get started with the worst one. The worst one is definitely season 5 part 1. And I think the big mistake that they made here was making John Dutton, Kevin Costner's character, was making him governor. He is best suited when he's on the ranch, leading the ranch, being the Montana godfather. That's when he's at his best. So they take him off the ranch, and now all of a sudden he's playing politician. And that's not why we love the character. We love the character because he's willing to make ruthless decisions to protect his ranch. And now he's making decisions to protect his ranch, but it's in the political sphere. And quite frankly, I've had enough of politics. I don't need more. So it was a good season. What they're doing with Jamie obviously is going to probably come to a head in season 5 part 2. Obviously the dynamic between Beth and Rip is always going to be a lot of fun, but this season just had the least amount to offer so far. So that's the worst one. All right, number 4 is season 4. It was the way that season 3 ended with the attack on the Dutton family, I really expected season 4 to be kind of explosive and for it to be very action-packed and the Duttons kind of go into war. That's really not what we got here. A lot of that conflict was settled within the first episode or two. And unfortunately, the rest of the season was your political maneuvering, your meetings between people in power. Season 4 seemed like it got bogged down in a lot of subplots. So all the main characters, they're kind of taken in separate directions. And when they're taken in separate directions, it's creating a whole bunch of these subplots in the show. And some of them are more interesting than others. But what I love about Yellowstone is when these characters are together and interacting together. And there was less of that in this season. So again, I would give a positive review to all 5 seasons, but season 4 was definitely where it started to decline a little bit for me. All right. Number 3 is season 3. Now, season 3 was a lot better than season 4. And a lot of that was because of, I know that some people don't like his character, but a lot of that for me was because of Jamie. Just the development of his character, the exploration of his backstory, and finding out who his father was and going down that path. I found a lot of that very compelling. So, and obviously Beth and Rip's romance definitely continued to develop in this season. So this season saw a lot of story threads that were planted in the first 2 seasons. A lot of those story threads paid off in season 3, and I think that's why it's so much better than season 4 and 5, because a lot of what was developed in season 1 and 2 paid off in season 3. The problem is that season 4 and 5 had to kind of create some new story threads, and it just wasn't as compelling. So season 3 was a big step up from season 4, but still not as good as the top 2. All right, my second favorite season is season 1. Season 1, again, is a big step up from season 3, really establishing this world, this ranching world. One of my favorite characters of season 1 was Jimmy, In a lot of ways, I think that Jimmy was kind of the audience's avatar for Yellowstone, someone who was an outsider, who was thrown into this world, and as he's learning, we're learning. As he's figuring out what this ranch is, we're figuring out what this ranch is. So I feel like in a lot of ways he was the audience surrogate, and I think that's why so many people connected with his character. And that's one of the things I really appreciated about season 5 was the way that, I mean, I think his storyline is done based on what we've seen in season 5. So yeah, season 1 was good. Great job of establishing the characters. Great job of establishing who Beth is, who John is, who Casey is, Jamie, Rip, establishing who they are, what their motivations are, and creating the world that they inhabit. But the best season is season 2. If season 1 established the world and established these characters, season 2 really let these characters play. And season 2 was the one that most delivered on the promise of the Montana Godfather. We got to see John at his most ruthless, his most cutthroat. The action was the best in season 2. The antagonist, the Beck brothers, they are by far the best antagonist in the show. And it was great seeing the tension build in season 2 and reaching its ultimate conclusion at the end. Season 2 was flawless TV, and I enjoyed it very much. So that's how I would rank the Yellowstone seasons. How would you rank them? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there commenting, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.